Hop, petit casque. Et ça semble être ok. Donc, on est parti pour finir. Faut que je coupe mon stream. Je vais avoir le stream en retour. Ok, on est parti pour la fin de Sherlock Holmes. Il me semble que c'est la dernière enquête. Donc, on va faire ça. On va faire la dernière enquête et après on verra. Soit je vais faire voler mon drone, soit je vais entamer un nouveau jeu. Secret au clair de lune. Certaines preuves demandent un supplément d'enquête. Elles sont signées. Ouais. On commence.
Where are you going, Holmes? Have you been invited somewhere?
We have been invited, Watson,
We have. Where to?
to the Baker Street Irregulars' annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that? I can't understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet.
Watson, you should be excited. It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street, invite you, Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson to our annual dinner. Menu, entree, frozen rat head salad. Is this a joke?
Not at all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way. Ah, sounds disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash. Street turnips in homemade juice. And it goes on.
Ah, I can hear them on the stairs now.
Or we can't go there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Mr. Holmes is my brother Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They say he's killed 2 men. You have to help us, Mr. Holmes, 'cause I know he didn't do it.
Where is he now?
From what I've heard, they took him to the yard, and they gave him a good beating already. You know what they're like. They'll hang him. They won't look any further.
Holmes, we have to help him.
And forget about the dinner? Wiggins, I'll take the case.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene. You'll be there, right? It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
Very well.
Very well. Allez voir ça. Il me semble que c'est le dernier truc. Cadavre en fait. Mec bourré. Ah, la scène du crime.
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes, is that you?
Good evening, Constable...
Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Of course, Marrow. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving. Who were the victims?
The 2 men here, both shot. The stab fellow was Brian Vercotti, a well-known ruffian. The other, Kenneth Butler, a jeweller by trade.
You spoke of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were two other witnesses who said they saw the killer Chapman. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there, and Polly Powell, a flower seller who is over at the far side of the street.
So, Constable Marrow, I should be delighted to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the two victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street.
Il a rien vu, quoi.
I rushed over there and I saw the two dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by two police constables.
Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything else.
What were the fireworks in honor of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course.
Et on est vraiment en mai en plus.
Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
Constable, your statements have been of great value to me. This is an ordinary key. The bullet struck his head. This man didn't stand a chance. A piece of wood that has stuck between the cobblestones. Let us take a closer look. This shard of wood is quite new. A tattoo from Westgate Prison. Vicotti must have done some time there. He tried to stop the bleeding with his hand. Death was not instant. The bullet penetrated his stomach, a dreadful wound.
Ça va faire mal quand même, une balle dans l'estomac là.
Brian Vicotti suffered greatly. What a terrible way to die. A fairly long pole with a forked end. A fairly long pole with a forked end.
Rien d'autre. Et Watson en fait il sert tellement à rien. Il n'a jamais vraiment aidé. Ah si, une fois quand même.
Good evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Marrow reply to you as Mr. Holmes. Are you that detective gentleman? I've heard of you. And well, I know things. Things about this evening.
Excellent. Might we hear your story? Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started. A few moments after, I clearly heard 2 gunshots from outside.
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window. I looked down and I saw 2 bodies. And there was a man with a gun who was standing nearby.
Where exactly?
Well, near this body.
Did he notice you?
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking around.
On les a pas analysés, j'ai pas analysé l'autre flic. Il y avait une médaille. Un bouton. Claudication, je connaissais pas ce mot.
Mr. Turner, did you see anyone else in the street?
No, I saw no one but that man, the murderer, the fellow they caught.
Were the 2 shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different somehow. It seemed to me that the second shot was louder than the first.
That is an interesting comment. Mr. Turner, what were your actions after you stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with a gun might return, so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming in the Half Moon from Whitechapel. Then I walked out to tell them everything I saw.
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. Turner.
Il y a des chances que le truc en bois, ça soit un truc de feu d'artifice.
It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation, Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, did you see my brother at Scotland Yard? Is he all right?
Mrs. Powell?
What do you want?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the crime that took place this evening.
Well, I've already gave my testimony, but very well.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
Yes. I was selling my flowers as usual, and then the fireworks began, in honour of Queen Victoria. I enjoyed those. But then, all of a sudden, a young lad ran out of Half Moon Street and stopped just by me. He had a gun in his hand. He was like a ghost, and all covered in blood. It was dark, but I could see him, because of the flashes from the fireworks.
And then?
I screamed as loud as I could. I knew that a policeman should be on duty in the vicinity. He had no time to escape. 2 constables got him. Then another constable came out from the very same street, and I heard him talking of a horrible murder.
Ah, on peut pas l'analyser, elle.
Mrs. Powell, did you hear the gunshots?
I'm not sure. You know, what with the fireworks?
Did you see anyone else leaving Half Moon Street, prior to or at the time of the crime?
No, sir, I did not. Even with all the fireworks, I was very attentive, as I'm always on the lookout for customers.
My thanks to you, Mrs. Powell.
Aller à Scotland Yard. Et interroger le frère. On va voir ce qui se trame.
Mr. Holmes, whatever brings you here so late at night?
I'm interested in the case of young Leighton Chapman. He was arrested earlier this evening and accused of a double murder.
I beg your pardon? That case is quite clear to the police. Or are there any new facts that we don't know about?
Who knows, Inspector?
Look, you are free to investigate, of course, Mr. Holmes. Chapman was arrested with a revolver in his possession, which you can find in the evidence room. The suspect himself is in custody.
Did you find anything else on his person?
A few personal belongings. Nothing particular, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Lestrade.
Je vais voir ses affaires et après on va lui parler.
These cigarettes are filled with cheap tobacco. Nothing interesting. A cheap watch, bought with his own money, no doubt. So this is the gun that Leighton was holding when he was caught by the police. It is a Webley revolver, a reliable weapon. It seems as though the shells were not removed from the cylinder. It's...
Une deux balles de
2
tiré.
out of the 6 shells have been fired. There were 2 shots. Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Good evening, Mr. Chapman.
Who are you? I've got nothing to say. It's all a mistake.
Ah, la balade.
Calm down, Leighton. I have come here to help you. To find out if you truly are innocent, as your younger brother Wiggins has told me.
My brother? You know him? Then that means you're...
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, blimey. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell you everything.
Il y a une vraie balafre. Ah, il a un cocard aussi. Du Krabi. Il y a un petit live juste pour finir Sherlock Holmes. Après, je dois aller faire des trucs et après, je reviendrai. Pas de papier élégant de la ville. Oh, il a fait de la prison, il connaissait le mec. Je sais pas, je dois juste aller tester mon drone peut-être
Good.
avec mon
Tell me
ami.
your
Et
account of
après,
what
je
happened.
reviens.
I left my work and I hurried up to see the fireworks in Whitechapel. I was late, so I decided to cut through Half Moon Street. I saw the first fireworks light up in the sky. I bumped into a constable on a corner before entering Half Moon. Then suddenly, what with all the firework flare, I saw 2 men. They were both lying flat in the middle of the street. I stopped where I was. I thought about turning back to the police, but as I was thinking of that, I saw a third person. He was leaning over the body that was furthest from me. The second I saw him, he raised his head and he stared at me. In a flash, I saw his gun, but he made a dash for it instead and he escaped through Whitechapel Street.
Je pense que si je rejoue aujourd'hui, ce sera Police Note pour commencer. Police Note, en fait, ça s'appelle. C'est comme un police astronaute. Mais Besiege, j'ai regardé, il y a moyen que je le prenne. Je vais juste peut-être attendre une promo ou un truc comme ça, parce que là je l'ai vu, il est à 20 $. Et je pense que j'essaierai de le faire, ça a l'air fun quand même.
So you might still have had time to return to the constable.
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I approached the bodies just to see if they were still alive. I saw that one had blood pumping out of his stomach. He was dying. It was horrible. The second one was already dead. He had a hole in his head. He was holding a gun in his hand, though. I took it, and then I followed the third man.
Interesting. Pray, continue.
I turned a corner, and I saw the man standing in the middle of the street. He seemed to be in some sort of panic. And then, Mr. Holmes, something strange happened. I told the police and they laughed at what I said, but I swear to you, my words are true. I started running towards him. But then I was blinded by a flash. It was so bright that I hardly saw anything for a good dozen seconds. But I kept running forward. As I arrived in Whitechapel, I heard a
Ah
woman
oui, tu pourras
screaming.
m'aider. Oui, oui. Ah ouais, ouais, c'est sûr.
And then I was caught by the police. But there wasn't a trace of that man. Of course, then they found a gun and all that blood. I couldn't see the murderer escaping and all that mess. Perhaps I was still half-blinded at that moment.
A thrilling account, my young man. Leighton, are you able to describe the person whom you saw standing in Half Moon Street?
Well, I wasn't able to see his face at all. It was too dark, and he was too far away. I could see his silhouette.
And what about that?
Nothing so special. He was wearing a jacket. He was quite average in size and his weight.
I see. Was there anything else that struck you at the time?
No. But perhaps it's strange, but I can't remember the sound of his footsteps as he was running away.
Le mec de la fenêtre.
Perhaps it was because of the fireworks or the surprise of me seeing him.
Leighton, I confess I am puzzled. Why should a young lad like you take a gun from the hands of a dead man and set off in pursuit of a probable killer?
I know. I keep wondering that, but at the time it was like a reflex. A criminal ought to be arrested, and he was armed.
You were willing to risk your life. That was a little foolish, unless you wanted revenge.
No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid.
I'm sure that you were, but I believe that you may have recognized one of the victims, Brian Vercotti. You knew that gentleman well, did you not?
However could you know that?
You have a typical tattoo of the Westgate Brotherhood upon your hand. I observed exactly the same mark upon Mr. Vercotti. You came to know him from your sharing a past prison sentence. Am I correct, Mr. Chapman?
God. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
Would you tell me a little about Brian Vercotti?
We were convicted for a robbery. Once in prison, both of us joined one of these fraternities. During that year, we tried to help each other out, you know?
You were quite young then, I believe.
Yes, Mr. Holmes, we were. We'd only stolen a pound of meat. After we were released and when I saw what my little brother had become, I decided to work towards living an honest life.
And Vercotti?
He had a hard time. His sister had died in a Whitechapel dispensary while he was in prison. He had no family anymore. Our paths split. He fell back into crime.
So you lost him?
Yes. And for around 2 years, I heard no news of him at all.
We shall see you soon, young man.
Oui, je jouerai à Besiege, c'est sûr, je pense. Besiege, je sais pas comment ça se dit en fait. Et pour devenir modo, je vais regarder, mais je pense que ça doit être très simple. Faudra que tu m'envoies un CV, une lettre de motivation. Je pense que c'est juste quelques clics, faut que je regarde. En fait, hier, j'ai regardé le résultat de Mixer, et puis c'est bien, c'est correct. Mais finalement, après, c'est trop chiant pour moi pour passer les vidéos sur YouTube. Il n'y a pas d'exportation automatique comme sur Twitch. Donc pour le petit peu que je gagne à être sur Mixer, je gagne beaucoup plus de temps à être sur Twitch. Donc je pense que je vais rester sur Twitch. Eh, Zimo, non. Viens là. Je vais aussi un peu pencher la caméra pour qu'on voit encore mieux Zimo. Elle saute. Elle saute, imbécile. Une miaulée là. Oh, on le voit mieux là, Zimo. T'arranges-toi, hein. Et... Turner a affirmé être resté à la fenêtre, son appartement arrive. Moi je pense que c'est Turner l'assassin. Ah, fuck, je me suis trompé. Yeah. Rosimo. Personne que Leighton Chapman décrit dans son témoignage est un pur produit de son imagination créée pour... Ah d'accord. Turner a entendu. Donc, on va aller à... Qu'est-ce que j'ai à faire? Regardez ce que j'ai à faire. Je vais aller à Half Moon Street. Oh, on le voit mieux là, hein. T'es une bonne Zimo.
What's up with you, lad? What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for my brother to be released.
Your brother?
The one that you caught, beat up and imprisoned.
Ah, the murderer.
He ain't killed no one, copper.
Watch
Papa.
your mouth, lad, else you'll be joining that worthless brother of yours.
Papa. Mais je pense
It
que le
would be my
tireur c'est lui
pleasure to
là-bas.
assist you with your investigation, Mr. Holmes.
Je pense que le tireur c'est lui.
Mr. Turner, you have stated that you remained close by your window after the crime, is that correct?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
Oh. Merde. Je comprends pas, il y a deux fois
Oh,
contradiction de
yes,
Turner.
Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
Ah non, c'est chose différente.
That is very interesting, Mr. Turner. Constable Marrow stated that he did not see anyone at the window when he was running through Half Moon Street.
Well, I think Constable Marrow and me, we might have been distracted by the whistles and shouts coming from Whitechapel. We could have missed each other somehow. You understand what I mean? It was a bit of a stressful moment, to tell you the truth, sir.
Allow me to form my own theories, Mr. Turner. Would you mind showing me the view that you had from your window?
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. Please, follow me.
Devrait suffire.
Mr. Turner appears to live
Je peux te
very
mettre toi et
modestly.
Sarah. Modérateur.
This kitchen knife is quite sharp. There are pieces of shredded paper scattered over the table. This kitchen knife was used to cut the paper.
Okay.
This fire is dying out. It was last tended to over an hour ago. The papers are almost entirely burned. These words are illegible. The papers were thrown into the fire just a short while ago.
Et je deviens soupçonneux de...
Mr. Turner was roused from his bed by the sound of gunshots.
Ouais. Pour l'instant, c'est lui, bon, mon plus gros suspect. Pour moi, il était en bas et il fait semblant d'être en haut. Ah, dégueulasse sa fenêtre en plus.
So, that's the view Mr. Turner had when he opened the window.
Ah, putain, encore. Merci, je vais regarder ça tout de suite. Euh... Ça fait chier. Ah, euh, y a un truc pour voir? Bon, je regarde vite fait. Ah, je sais pourquoi. Hop. Voilà. Mieux. Merci, Krabi. Ok, ça marche. Ok, alors, qu'est-ce qu'il voit d'ici?
The dead body of Kenneth Butler. Brian Vercotte's contorted corpse. Mr. Turner had a perfect view of the crime scene. He saw the bodies clearly, and Leighton Chapman standing over them.
Fais ta première tâche de modérateur, de futur modérateur.
Anything else you would like to know, Mr. Holmes?
Et toi, t'es une arnaque, je le sais, mec. Je sais que c'est une arnaque, ce mec. Ah, moi, je suis sûr que non. Dayton. Faire une unique. Butler et Brian Vercotti ont été victimes d'un double assassinat perpétré par une seule personne. Et... c'est ce que je dois faire par contre. Ah oui, si, il y a ça en bas à faire. Ouais, je pense que c'est ça plutôt. C'est ça parce que lui, il a pris un truc dans la tête en fait. Ou alors... mort les tirs. Et d'ailleurs...
I am unable to see any higher. I need to find something. This should be useful.
Et...
This
oh.
is most definitely a bullet hole. The brick cracks are fresh. Watson, there was a third shot fired in this street.
Et du coup, je pense que les tirs... non, non, je suis pas d'accord. Peut-être qu'il y a un couteau de glace quelque part, effectivement. Un morceau est coincé entre les pavés. Et c'est dans quoi? Je sais... on peut pas faire de sondage sur Twitch, si? On peut faire? Comment on fait? Comment tu fais? Je sais pas comment on fait, pas avec mon truc là, je pense pas pouvoir. Non. Ah, attends. Comment on peut faire? Je crois que si je te donne les droits d'admin, tu pourrais faire des sondages. Je sais pas ce que je dois faire là par contre. Le crime, ouais. Tâchez d'expliquer la contradiction du témoignage. Parlez au brigadier Marot et déterminer s'il a pu mentir.
Constable Marrow, I would value your assistance in this
Je
investigation.
checkerai ça pour le
Be
prochain
my pleasure,
stream.
Mr.
Entre les deux
Holmes.
streams,
I would like
entre
to make
celui-là et
sure
celui de ce
that there
soir,
are
je vais
no
essayer de te
places
mettre...
in Half Moon Street where a man could hide while you were running through it with your lamp.
All right, Mr. Holmes, what should I do?
Take your lamp and start walking, just as you did before, and try to find me.
Understood.
Waouh. Ok, je l'avais pas vu.
I can see you very well, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide.
Ok, j'avais du mal à le voir.
Here you are, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide.
Mr. Holmes, it wasn't difficult to find you at all.
It is obvious now. No one could escape Constable Marrow's lamp while hiding in the street.
Sûr de ce qu'il faut. Tâchez d'expliquer la contradiction en lui parlant et en examinant. Lui parler. Moi je pense que c'est lui en fait, et il est juste rentré dans son appart.
Anything else you would like to know, Mr. Holmes? Anything else you would like to know, Mr. Holmes?
J'ai raté quelque chose. J'ai pas l'impression d'avoir raté quoi que ce soit. Allez. Il y a sa canne. Oh!
A perfect match.
Hmm.
So, Mr. Turner broke his stick when it became stuck between the cobblestones. He did not mention that he was so near to the victims.
Petit cachotier.
The books on this shelf are in a mess. It looks as though Mr. Turner was trying to find something in a hurry here a short while ago.
C'est le pistolet. On va retourner lui parler.
Anything else you would like to know, Mr.
Ok,
Holmes?
selon moi, c'est levé. Vite. Regardez par la fenêtre. Approcher du corps. Ah non, non, non. Ah. 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 Il a fait ça. Ça peut être ça. Il lève, il va voir la fenêtre, il voit les gens en bas. On se rapide. La fenêtre. Non. Récupère un truc. On va. Ah. J'étouffe.
So Mr. Turner used a book to hide an object that he found on Kenneth Butler's body. The question is, what did he find?
Et donc dans un des livres, il y a quelque chose.
I can see prints from greasy fingers upon the cover of this book. Let us take a closer look.
Moby Dick, forcément.
Well now, what a find! A precious jewel, concealed inside a book. A bracelet.
Ok. On va aller parler au petit vieux maintenant.
Mr. Turner, how would it be possible for a man of advanced years, such as yourself, to rush from his bed to the window in a matter of seconds, as you have stated?
Well, I'm able to move very quickly, despite my age.
Oh!
And when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
Claudication.
I highly doubt that, Mr. Turner. I observe that you suffer a severe limp due to your injured right leg. It would have taken at least 10 seconds for you to approach the window. That means you could have easily missed something or someone in Half Moon Street during that time.
You're right, Mr. Holmes. I could have missed something. But it did seem to me that everything happened so quickly. Oh, time can pull tricks on you.
And what of everything else that you told us? Mr. Turner, it is vital that we have your complete and true statement.
Mr. Holmes, I do assure you that the other things I said were most sincere.
Oh!
Mr. Turner, you were not sincere with me. Not then and not now.
But Mr. Holmes...
This,
But-
Mr. Turner, does not look like anything that a poor man might possess. It is worth more than the home that you live in.
I can explain.
No, merely correct me if I am wrong. You saw Leighton Chapman through the window, but you also noticed a glittering object on the ground, this precious jewel. You walked down and took the bracelet from the body of Kenneth Butler, and when you heard the whistles, you hurried away. That broke your walking stick. It caught fast between the cobbles. Constable Marrow was unable to see you in the window, as you were climbing up the stairs on your way back to your flat. Upon returning home, you hid the precious jewel inside a book.
Mr. Holmes, please don't send me to prison. I didn't do anything bad. I'm just a poor man. When I
I'm
chanced
just
upon
a
the bracelet,
poor-
I saw it as an opportunity to make a little money. I was desperate. I only took the bracelet, that's all, I swear.
You made a mistake by lying to me. But you are not a criminal. I believe that. Although I must return this bracelet to its rightful owner.
I wish this crime had never happened, Mr. Holmes.
Ok. Direction Baker Street. Aller faire des petites recherches dans mes encyclopédies. Alors, recherchons. Non, non. Arc et symbole peut-être? Bracelet antique d'une tête mouton. Vraiment. Sarah est modératrice sur Mixer, mais pas ici, je pense pas. Hein. Merde, un bracelet antique en or trouvé dans l'appartement. Mouflon.
That is not the... That is...
Salut Seb. Un mini stream pour finir Sherlock Holmes. Après, je pense que je vais aller faire du drone et après, je reviens plus tard. Ah merde, je vais le trouver où ce truc à la con là? Ah, ça fait ouais, ça fait 50 minutes quand même que ça roule. Je trouve pas bracelet anti. Merde. Ah, attendez, vous allez peut-être voir un truc que je vois pas. Analyse de sang, non, non, non. Pas dans chimie. Peine de ciguë, non, 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 non. Poison et toxique. C'est par balle, non, 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 non. Mine élastique. Maîtrise, non, non. Arts martiaux.
That is not the... That is not...
Un symbole religieux, non.
That is...
Là, il n'y a plus rien. Inauguration. Ça a failli. Dans le Québec, là, je vais aller dans un parc. C'est la première fois que je vais le faire voler.
That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need.
Homard volant. Oh, portrait de Dorian Gray, non.
That is not the one I need.
Oh, l'infanterie.
That is not the one I need.
Remis. Ah, je trouve pas. Bientôt affilié. Ah ouais, j'ai reçu des nouvelles pièces et j'ai un ami à moi qui m'a aidé à le monter. L'art antique, chambre du Parlement, première ébauche. Eh ben, je vais cliquer sur tout, je crois. Hein. Alors, attends. Il y a d'autres trucs. Ah non.
That is not the one. That is not the one I need.
Eh, je trouve pas. Fuck. Je comprends pas ce qu'il faut que je fasse là. Analyse de... Ah, regardez avec moi là. Analyse de sang, ça peut pas être... Alors, on va cliquer sur tout.
That is not the one.
Ça, c'est pas un poison.
That is not the... That is not... That is not...
Non,
That is...
non,
That is...
non,
That is...
non.
That is not... That is...
C'est moi, hein, ça va être relou,
that
mais...
is... That is... That is not... That is... That is... That is not... That is... That is not the one I need.
Je sais pas encore si j'aurai le temps de faire une vidéo. Là, ça va être vraiment juste des tests pour voir si le branchement est bon et tout ça. Ah oui, je vois rien là. Un bracelet antique en or trouvé dans l'appartement de Monsieur. Il est décoré de têtes de mouflon aisément reconnaissable. Mais reconnaissable de quoi là?
That is not the one I need. That is...
Oh putain, c'était ça. Magnifique bijou antique. Ce sont qu'une partie de collection de trésors hellénistiques. Je crois que j'avais cliqué dessus. En illustration, un bracelet, un collier, une bague, 3 en or massif représentant 5 têtes de mouflon.
Here it is.
Ok, désolé. C'est là.
I need to continue my research in my archives.
Ah, la prison peut-être. Mouflon de Mytilène. 985. Vol de trésor hellénistique. C'est là-dessus que j'avais cliqué tout à l'heure. Un vol de trésor hellénistique a eu lieu hier soir alors qu'ils étaient acheminés en cab depuis le British Museum à destination de l'exposition des beaux-arts de Glassford. Kenneth Butler, prêteur sur gage à Church Street, contacté Scotland Yard cette nuit pour signaler qu'un individu avait tenté de lui vendre une collection d'art historique. La police a depuis appréhendé l'homme, un voleur professionnel du nom de Vincent Follet, cherchait à quitter Londres par voie maritime. Il a été formellement reconnu par le cocher du cab transportant la dite collection. Vincent Follet a refusé d'avouer l'emplacement des restes de trésors. Il a été incarcéré mais on ignore encore.
Here it is. One of the victims, Kenneth Butler, was involved in the story of the stolen Hellenistic treasures. A visit to his pawn shop should tell me more.
Possible, Krabi. Et si je vais voler, ça va pas être très long, mais faut déjà que je finisse cette enquête là. Il fait pas très beau, j'ai peur qu'il se mette à pleuvoir en fait. À pleuvoir, je pourrais pas voler. J'ai cru que c'était le marin.
Mr. Butler's key.
Voyons voir ce qu'il a ici.
These tools are exactly what I need to climb the wall. This is exactly what we need in order to imitate the flash of the fireworks.
Moi, c'est vraiment juste question de tester le nouveau fonctionnement. Un nouveau collier, ça. Un collier hellénistique.
The ram's heads. This necklace belongs to the... Interesting. That means that Kenneth Butler owned a part of this collection all this time.
Salut Kenneth, je me rappelle que tu m'as parlé de 3 antiquités grecques, des bijoux en or avec des têtes de mouflons. Tu les as toujours? Figure-toi que j'ai trouvé un daim huppé qui raffole de ses breloques. Et prêt à raquer une petite fortune. Je peux te faire rencontrer cette tirelire sur pattes contre part du gâteau. Je t'attendrai dimanche soir au carrefour de Great Alley et de Half Moon Street avant le feu d'artifice.
It looks as though Mr. Butler kept a careful record of his operations.
Il y a bien une troisième personne. Ok, alors. Ned Butler et Brian sont morts en s'entretuant chacun minute. Non. Ned Butler et Brian Vercoté ont été victimes d'un double assassinat. Oui. Le crime de Half Moon est peut-être lié à la recherche des trésors hellénistiques. Alors, Monsieur Turner a ramassé le bracelet juste après le meurtre, mais il manque encore la bague. Je vois pas le petit Chapman avoir fait ça. On va retourner dans la rue, on va voir. Je vois pas le petit, le grand frère de Wiggins faire ça. Ils sont gentils.
Why are you looking at me all the time like that?
I'm just watching you, lad. I never know what to expect from people like you.
People like me?
Yes, street beggars and thieves.
I ain't a thief.
Oh no? Then where did you get whatever it is that you're gnawing on? I very much doubt that you bought it.
What ain't seen can't hardly be stolen.
Et brigadier.
Constable Marrow, Watson, I would like to perform another kind of reenactment with your help.
I'm listening, Mr. Holmes.
I want to check if Leighton's testimony can be trusted. If someone could vanish into thin air at a specific moment.
But Holmes, I don't see how.
I am going to be the mysterious gentleman whom Leighton followed. I will stand exactly where he saw him before he was blinded by the flash. Watson, you will be Leighton. When I fire the signal flare, you should start to chase me.
I understand, Holmes.
You, Constable Marrow, just play your part and do exactly as you did. Just, please, wait 5 seconds after the signal flare. I doubt that Polly Powell would have screamed any earlier.
As you say, Mr. Holmes.
Let us begin then. Catch me if you can.
J'ai trouvé cool, mais... Ah, je pense qu'il est pas parti en courant, il est rentré là-dedans. Beaucoup trop. Il aurait escaladé le mur, je comprends pas. Pas sûr de bien comprendre ce qu'il veut que je fasse. Bah en fait ça a quelques petits trucs en plus, certainement.
The moon illuminates this wall. Anyone trying to climb it would be easily spotted by Constable Marrow.
Et il y a aussi des désavantages qui font que je vais rester
This
sur Twitch.
wall is cast in shadow. It would be difficult to see anyone scaling it.
I can barely see anything.
C'est un peu tiré par les cheveux le fait de grimper contre un mur comme ça.
Holmes? Are you there?
Comme si le mec il avait pensé à venir ici avec un matériel d'escalade. Tu sais, je trouve ça trop bizarre. Trop bizarre comme idée.
Where is he? My God, a man can't just disappear like that. Holmes? Holmes? Where are you?
I cannot see you, Mr. Holmes. Dr. Watson, it seems that Mr. Holmes has disappeared.
Don't worry, gentlemen, I am up here, above your heads.
How on earth did you get up there, Holmes?
I am using crampons and a climbing axe, although the person we are looking for did not leave any traces of such tools. Constable, is there any way to get to the top of this building?
Yes, Mr. Holmes, I can show you. The door to the building can be found from Whitechapel Street.
Gentlemen, I am on my way down.
C'est trop bizarre. C'est genre le mec il vient pour acheter des bijoux mais il a un équipement de... Il a un équipement d'escalade sur lui, je trouve ça un petit peu étrange. Vous en pensez?
These shards of glass are from the window above. It's empty. A cluster of thick black threads. They're unusually strong. I should examine them under the microscope.
Pourquoi tu cries Sarah?
It's empty.
Non, elle est pas là, je crois pas. Ah, peut-être.
Someone broke through the window to get inside the attic, but in his haste he ripped his jacket.
Elle joue à City Skyline en ce moment. Je lui ai proposé de faire des
We
streams.
can
Elle a dit
conclude
qu'elle y
that the
réfléchirait.
person whom Leighton saw climbed up the wall, broke into the attic window, and escaped through the hatch.
Ouais, elle est peut-être là. Ok. Peut-être qu'elle est juste dans son jeu là en ce moment. Direction Castry. Ah, c'est possible, Seb. C'est possible que tu comptes pour deux endroits différents. Je trouve que c'est toi. C'est toi qui fais monter mes stats. Merci, Seb.
Let us take a close. It is not a thread, but a hair. I very much doubt that it is human. I need to compare this sample with a human hair and a horse hair. A shaving brush is usually made from horsehair. Watson, could you please pass me your shaving brush?
Here you are.
Ouais, recaste,
Watson,
recaste.
look, what's outside the window?
Well, I don't see anything.
Ouais, c'est
Ouch!
bizarre.
Holmes!
Oh, don't make such a fuss. One little hair. Human hair is significantly thinner than the black sample. The horse hair is thinner than the hair that we found. So, this black hair belongs to an
Un
animal,
ours.
and it is larger than a horse. A hair from a large and exotic animal.
Oui, Sarah. Acrobate de cirque. Putain, le mec. On va aller au cirque, les gars. Quel menteur, celui-là. Il manque des indices encore. Un français, c'est pour ça. Ah oui, c'est un sale français qui arrête pas de se plaindre. Il y a un... Ah non. Il manque quelque chose là. Acrobate de cirque. Ouais. Ok, ça c'est bizarre par contre. Pourquoi ce serait eux qui changent de tir, je crois. Demander à Wiggins.
Wiggins is currently at Half Moon Street.
Ouais. Ah ouais, c'est vrai que tu t'es fait... C'est parce que t'as utilisé le mot sale, je pense. Hop, rajoute ton message. Qu'est-ce qu'il m'a dit?
Wiggins is
Ah oui. Ah, c'est dur de faire une enquête avec vous. Oh waouh, on est 4 grâce à Seb. Merci Seb.
Oi, watch your tongue.
Je check juste un truc. Oh moi non plus je savais pas.
Mr. Holmes?
Bon.
We have good news for you, Wiggins. The investigation has proven very interesting so far. We found facts and details that confirm your brother's innocence.
I knew it, Mr. Holmes.
But for now, Wiggins, we need your help.
Anything you like, Gov.
I need you to locate a circus that has stopped over in London. It needs to have disposed of at least one exotic animal, a very large one.
You can count on me, Mr. Holmes.
Un ours peut-être? Ou un éléphant? Quel genre de... Ouais, je suis en train de regarder là, mais je trouve...
I do hope that those children don't get into trouble, Holmes.
Don't worry, Watson. I predict some news in 7 seconds.
Mr. Holmes, we found it. Here it is.
Vous avez vu, j'ai remis le chat comme il était. Vu que vous trouviez ça moche.
Duval Brothers, a well-known travelling circus that is currently stopped in London. And this is a young Indian elephant, the highlight of the show. I believe that is exactly the type of circus we are looking for. I'll pay it a visit.
Écoute. Cirque des frères Duval, c'est parti.
Hey, you! Stop right there.
Ah, on va le
Good
botter le
morning,
cul.
sir. Pardon me, but why am I not allowed to walk around here?
Because it's private.
Well, I only wanted to meet the artistes.
Hmm? You're wanting to apply for... Nah. You don't look like the type of, artistic lockpicker that we're looking for.
You might be surprised.
What? Nah. I don't think so. Clear off. You're a bit slow to catch on, eh? Get lost.
Ah, fuck, faut que je me déguise. Retour à Baker Street. Je comprends pas le québécois, c'est pour ça. Alors, comment je dois me déguiser pour être un artiste de cirque? M'habiller en bandit. Je vais me mettre chauve. Les lunettes. J'ai une tête de bandit là, j'ai une tête de pédophile, ouais. Voilà, là comme ça j'ai une tête de... Ouais, ça censure que si t'écris sale en fait.
Spectacles are unpopular among thugs. I don't want to arouse suspicion.
Ah, ok. Écris sale français, tu verras, ça va te censurer. Ça va même te bannir peut-être. Peut-être que Sarah va te bannir. Pas de sale français.
I'd better wear a shabby hat.
Ah. Non, crise de français, c'est pas passé. Il a pas accepté, je suis obligé de l'accepter. Ouais, faut pas mettre de E en fait. Ah non. Ah non, il a compris, il a compris. Ah, il me faut un chapeau, c'est où les chapeaux? C'est là. Ah, là c'est pas passé non plus. Là je ressemble à quelque chose. En fait on peut pas se déguiser comme on veut, c'est lui qui décide.
I'd better wear a shabby hat.
Pas un chapeau haut de gamme ce que j'ai là déjà. En bas c'est... C'est ça comme chapeau? Ça. C'est ça peut-être? Pas un chapeau haut de gamme.
I'd better wear a shabby
Ah,
hat.
bas de gamme. Hey, ah ouais, j'ai des problèmes moi. On va mettre une casquette.
Stay where you are. What are you doing here, and where is Sherlock Holmes?
Calm down, Watson. Take deep breaths now. It's me.
Oh, thank God, Holmes. I can't get used to your disguises.
Il est un peu con
Thank
Watson.
you,
Hein.
Watson. That means I am ready to go.
Un petit peu con Watson. Ah mais crise de québécois c'est normal parce que c'est vrai. On s'entend hein. Soyons réalistes. Crise de français ça n'existe pas. Un crise de québécois ça existe. Validé.
Who are you? What's your name?
My name is Nigel. I'm here to open the locks.
Talented, eh? Let's see. Go inside the marquee and show yourself to Charles Foley. And I'd highly advise you not to trick him. Got that?
I've got it.
I've got it. Ok, on va sous le chapiteau. Allez, mal poli, je vais vous bannir.
So, everything is here just as you asked. And what about the money? Some of the barrels are wet. Transportation issues, it couldn't be helped. Whatever. We'll be here after midnight to pick up the supplies. I want to be paid first. No. You'll be paid after we make the transfer, as I said. Right? I hope that no one saw you. The police are on the lookout. Of course not. I'm a professional. Glad to hear it. Be ready for tonight then.
Merde. Bah, écoutez, j'étais sur autre chose. Alors attends, je vais tester un truc. Oh! Ouh, je sais pas si vous avez vu.
There are enough posters to paste across half of London's walls. From lambs into lions. Those are words of encouragement and defiance. That's a picture of a contemporary gentleman wearing a Robin Hood hat. Interesting. This poster was clearly made to fire up rebellion amongst the people.
C'est un modérateur. Il peut te faire fermer
This
ta
printing
gueule.
press is old, but still quite capable of printing hundreds of pages per day.
Ok. Ils impriment ça.
This wooden barrel is damaged. It is difficult to say what is inside. There is a spot on this barrel that was intentionally painted out.
Ouais, j'ai l'impression que...
The crest of the Honourable Artillery Company. Could it be gunpowder? I need to be sure.
Battez-vous.
The barrels are roughly clustered. It seems as though they were...
Oh, c'est de la poudre.
Judging by the fractions and the scent, I can confirm that it is, in fact, gunpowder. Powder kegs, a printing press, and a great many blank papers. All of this was stolen by the Merry Men quite recently. And these poster samples. I am quite sure it is not a coincidence. The Merry Men are planning some sort of sabotage.
Stop right there. Who are you?
Wow.
Are you Charles Foley?
Maybe.
They say that I can open any door.
Do they now? We'll see that lock near the chains on the table over there. Open that.
Je dirais... Un petit côté rocker anglais. Clé complexe, coffre-fort protégé, ok. Blessure. Pansement ensanglanté, trauma récent. Pistolet, revolver, bulldog, assassin. Bague à tête de mouflon. Lui, il a l'antiquité volée. Oh, doigt bandé. Acrobate. Ça va bien se passer, Seb, t'en fais pas. Ça va bien se passer. Alors, on va réutiliser ma technique habituelle. La technique, c'est de partir de l'extérieur. Il y a plusieurs lignes. Il n'y en a qu'une, on la met là. Voilà. On check. Ok. Voilà, easy. Il a fait. Je vois même pas ce qu'il fait.
I need to find out what's behind this Charles Foley.
C'est vrai. Homme à la veste. Charles Follet porte une bague antique. Un revolver glissé. Un homme à la veste. Parler.
Ah. Well, they're right. What's your name?
Nigel Shirley, from York.
Habit.
Ah, Nigel from York. Never heard anything about you. How'd you hear about me?
La fiche. Merde, c'est pas ça.
Nigel from York.
Je sais même pas ce qu'il y a comme
Never
emoticon
heard
sur mon
anything
chat.
about you.
Je pense qu'elle est
How'd
toute
you hear
normaux.
about me?
Même pas quoi dire.
It's a long story. I met your brother, Vincent the Butcher Foley, in prison. He told me all about his betrayal and all about you. Before I was released, he told me that you might find a job for me one day and pay me some money for me craft.
Well, he died 7 days ago in prison.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's all right.
Pas si
The
je peux en
traitor has
rajouter.
paid the blood price for it. And you'll do the job anyway, because I need a talented lockpicker. I know just where to search for his legacy.
It's all about the Hellenistic treasures, isn't it?
Osh, you fool. Now, listen up. You'll come with us tonight, and you
Bob
better
Ross.
mind yourself.
Us? Wait, who's coming then?
Billy, Jack and me.
And what will I get for that?
We'll share the loot. The one you seem to know about.
Right.
Wait for us at the abandoned manor house on the corner of Ladbroke Grove and Kensington Park Road at midnight.
Deal.
Yeah. On va aller faire un crime. On va aller faire un crime, messieurs, dames. Sherlock Holmes va crimer. Le pauvre Seb.
Here I am at the manor.
Pauvre
Somewhere
Sébastien.
inside it are the
Cobaye.
Hellenistic treasures. This lock is quite old.
Là, ça va être plus compliqué. Il y en a deux maintenant. Je sens comme ça, moi. Content de voir que mon chat vous amuse. Et ça c'est bon. Ok, c'est bon.
I need to find where the safe is hidden and lockpick it.
Eh, fais gaffe, je vais le passer modérateur à Seb. Hein.
This cupboard is a...
Seb, il va passer modérateur, ça va être... Vous allez vous amuser à vous entretuer. Je comprends pas pourquoi.
Several books have fallen from the shelves. It seems as though this cupboard can
Et
be
les enfants là, il y a
moved.
quelqu'un qui essaye de
I'll
faire une
give it a
enquête. Hein.
try.
Hey.
So,
Hop, ça c'est fait. Fais avoir à ton propre jeu, mon petit gars. Sérieux, vous pouvez tout... Ah putain, c'est con, je pensais pas. T'es modérateur, Sam, maintenant, carrément. Tu vois, je suis plus cool que le gouvernement.
what a surprise. I recall that precious key around Foley's neck. It might prove a decent fit. Let us check the thieves' possible escape routes in the event that they are caught off guard by the police from the front door. This door is a perfect means of escape in an emergency.
Pas non plus, très honnêtement, je sais pas.
This door is a perfect means of escape in an emergency. This door leads to a kitchen, which holds the shortest route to the back door.
On va faire... Maman, j'ai raté l'avion.
This should be useful.
Voilà, je vous ai protégé l'un de l'autre. Je suis obligé de faire ça tellement vous êtes des enfants. Et...
I suppose that the thieves already tried to open the lock with this. I suppose. I wonder what this old chandelier is doing on the.
Ok, je crois que j'ai...
I suppose that. I wonder what this old.
Oh, mais qu'est-ce que je fasse?
The door is. The door. I suppose that the thieves...
Je sais pas quoi faire.
What a surprise. I recall... What a...
Ah oui, c'est les marques de...
These are the marks of ineffectual lock...
Non, pas quoi. Au lieu de vous entretuer sur le chat là, essayez de m'aider.
The ground floor window is a perfect way to escape the police. The thieves won't attempt to escape through the front door if the police are right behind it. Although this window is high above the ground, it would be possible for one of the thieves to attempt to use it for their escape. This should be useful.
Ok, on est en mode Kevin McAllister là, j'ai l'impression.
One step on these beads, and our thief will go flying. I should walk carefully here, else my plan will be ruined. Any thief who finds his way upstairs will roll down very quickly.
Ok, je pense que j'ai réussi à bloquer le haut.
This works very well. No one.
Ok.
This door is a perfect means of escape in an emergency. Now blocked. There is no ladder. If anyone falls... This
Possible qu'il y ait des bots aussi. Je sais pas comment ça marche Twitch. Oh, j'ai une corde là.
This should be useful.
Ok. Une corde ou un drap ou quelque chose comme ça à mettre dessus.
Now, if anyone takes the hammer, the rope will uncoil and make the chandelier fall. If he runs through the dining room and takes a sledgehammer to force open the door, the chandelier will knock him down.
Ah, j'ai besoin.
This should... It's not an open hatch, just a nice carpet on the floor. I should walk carefully here, else my... Now, if a thief runs, the traps for my circus companions are all prepared. I
Ouais,
can
moi
leave
je vois ce
now,
que tu fais.
but I'll return later with Charles Foley and his companions.
Ok, c'est bon.
Police! Police!
Stop where you are!
Where are they?
Trapped, Watson, with your assistance.
How so?
You sounded just like a real Bobby, my dear fellow. You startled them into the traps.
I did?
I assure you, Watson, it was quite an entertaining show. They will not escape the house now.
You scum!
And this is the pistol used for the murder in Half Moon Street.
How'd you know about that?
Have you closed the case yet, Sherlock?
Mycroft, what are you doing here? Did you follow me?
Sherlock, it may seem that I used you, but you should be pleased to know that you have served our queen well, in this instance. So now, let us catch the big fish. But this man is not one of the merry men?
No.
Then why exactly are we here, Sherlock?
This gentleman, Charles Foley, has been involved in a double murder, and the hunter of a set of valuable antiques, the Hellenistic treasures, which disappeared in a theft many years ago.
You're no better than the coppers.
Holmes, that is incredible. The Hellenistic treasures.
Indeed.
Nothing but trifles. Where are the merry men?
I don't know why you are asking me, Mycroft. They are yours to find.
I'll see you soon, dear brother.
Don't move, you flimflammer.
Yeah. Je sais pas si vous allez voir. Je sais pas si ça va se voir bien. Je pense qu'il y a pas, il va pas faire le point. Yeah. Point. Non, vous n'allez pas voir. Il y a 2,7 sur 3. On y est presque. Sauf si Krabby uniquement si Krabby arrête de ban tout le monde. Ok. Charles Foley est l'orchestrateur des vols des trésors et il est lié au assassinat. Ouais. Potence.
Charles Foley, you committed the crime of premeditated murder and of theft. You will be severely punished for your deeds.
You are pitiful. You Scotland Yard dog.
Save your words for the gallows. I'm sure the journalists will love them. I shall leave now, Watson. Gentlemen, please take our friends here into custody.
Where are you going?
I have unfinished business. I'll see you at Baker Street.
Ouais. Il n'y a jamais de relou sur mon stream. J'ai jamais vu de connard sur mon stream encore. En fait, ce qu'il faudrait, idéalement, faudrait que je fasse de la pub pour mon stream
Be
ou des trucs
careful
comme
with the
ça, mais...
lamps. Don't bring them too close to the barrels.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Who's there?
That is of no importance. What matters is who you are and the
C'est
plans
vite
that you
tué.
have here.
So you can stop us from carrying them out?
Eventually, yes.
Hey,
J'ai
careful.
vu, j'ai vu.
You'll blow us all up.
I'm listening.
We are a group known as the Merry Men. But I suppose you knew that already. We are the men who've already lost everything of value in their lives. We are ruined shopkeepers. We are workers who were fired from their jobs, honest people who were robbed. We were forced out from our homes and thrown onto the street, and all of this in the name of the so-called law. The laws that were set out by our government. The laws that make the commoners only more vulnerable and the wealthy more protected. We are not only from the British Empire. Some of us are from the New Lands, America, Australia, and we are many. But men we are still, and we are merry for that we stopped being afraid. For those powers that be had done their best to plant the fear inside our souls, and we accepted it so easily. The fear advised us to keep our heads bowed. It prevented us from fighting. Bankers and politicians, they own our lives, our work, our bread, and they push us to compete between each other, just to see who may serve them better. But in the end, they are the few, so they are weak. They are nothing without their titles. We should not fear them. Our so-called masters should fear us instead. The time has come for our group to stand tall. Our great and many merry men. We are going to blow up the London Stock Exchange. No life shall be lost. But ownerships, debts, and property titles? They shall all be destroyed. They're only papers, after all. So many people will be freed over this night.
That is a radical step to take. What result do you truly expect?
Chaos. But soon people will understand that they are free, and that they don't belong to anyone. They will be able to work for themselves, together, without letting the rulers dictate what to do, and finally justice will arise.
What you are intending to do is a crime. It is not justice.
How do you see justice, then? Kids go to prison for a loaf of dry bread. And how many lords do you see punished for stealing from their people, sending them to their deaths in mines or overseas to fight for land? Our masters wouldn't hear us. So now it's time to sing the song of the merry men. Will you let us do our duty?
Quoi faire? Des trucs à taper, c'est des commandes à taper, Seb. J'ai pas bien tout compris.
When the law serves only the few, it can no longer be trusted. Every man is equal, and he has a right to choose his own way. I shall not stop you.
Ok, j'ai laissé des terroristes sur le territoire anglais. Tout va bien.
So, you're interested in Russian literature now?
Quite, lately.
It is an interesting book. I remember a few lines.
Really? I tried reading it myself, but I had a hard time understanding it.
Yes, Doctor. It's about intelligence. Sherlock, I vaguely recall one of the lines. Sometimes it takes something more than intelligence to act intelligently. There were also a few words along the lines of, pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence and a deep heart. Tell me, Doctor, does my brother show any signs of pain or suffering?
Not that I know of.
Because you see, Doctor, behind all of his masquerade, my brother does possess a deep heart. So deep that he does not recall where he places his love.
Well, I'm sure that...
His love and his duty that, in the first place, should be directed towards the Empire. For without it, we would be nothing. A country filled with uncivilized men. I should leave now. Sherlock, Dr. Watson.
Holmes, what just happened? What was that?
The start of a new world. Anything in the post, Watson? Any clients worthy of our attention?
Only a second reminder from Mrs. Hudson about our new neighbour. She urges you to remove your...
Oh, I don't care about that.
Holmes, the lady who will be moving in shortly has requested the use of our spare room to place all of her boxes.
Wait, what? A lady?
Ok, est-ce que j'ai eu bon? J'ai eu bon. Pas bien. J'ai tout trouvé. On est bon. Ok. Tout le monde a trouvé. Elle était quand même facile. Ce cas-là, il était un peu long, mais il était facile. Ok. Bon, bah moi j'ai fini mon jeu pendant que vous vous entretuez sur le chat. Donc je vais vous laisser là et je reviendrai peut-être un peu plus tard. Je sais pas. Peut-être, sûrement pour Police Note. Sur PlayStation 1. En train de nous... Ah, c'est une... ok. Pour voir les accomplissements et tout ça, je pense. Messieurs, à plus tard. Allez apprendre vos commandes de modérateur. Allez, à toutes.